Hi, welcome to day 118 of my Munros challenge. So we're going to do it today. The Aonach Eagach Ridge. Wow, it's a better forecast than tomorrow, so we're taking advantage of that. 2 Munros, Eagach, the rounded red hill, and Skernam Finley, the peak of Finland's warriors. Been worried about today for some time, so here we go, let's get on with it. So it's uphill from the roadside. I parked a car at the other end near Glencoe, so I'm with my mate Jeff. Let's get on with it. Just a quick look at the ridge before we start. What a backdrop, what a fantastic day that was. Fabulous day. But we're up here today. So if you look across there, that was the hidden valley where we dropped down onto. So the path from the off is steep, and there's been a fair bit of erosion control so far, so it making the path manufactured, put steps in it in various places. Yeah, the path has definitely become more scrambly. You can see Jeff here having a bit of a scramble up this bit of a cliffside. Just looking across over there, they're the 2 Munros we're going to do tomorrow. Looking back over the grassy ridge now, we're getting much higher up. The path gradient eases somewhat the higher up you get, it becomes a bit easier. I know we've got all the fun ahead of us. That's the first view I've got of the ridge. Wow, it's exciting. Wow, so this isn't the top. I think the top's over there, maybe a couple of ridges away. But wow, look at this. There we go, let's get on with it. What a fantastic view that is, looking down Glencoe. I suspect today it's just going to be full of fantastic views. A bit scrambly up there, nothing too bad so far. So far so good. This looks like it might be a bit steeper. Got a bit of scrambling to do down here. Let's get on with it. There's Jeff, enjoying himself. This is great. It's really steep. Yeah, we had to that was a really fun scramble. So we've come down there. I can understand why the guidebook say it's quite exposed now, because it is exposed. So we've just shimmied down this rock face here, and that's the other rock face that we climbed down a minute ago. So there's the first Munro over there. Just starting the final ascent of Eagach. Glencoe in all its glory. Wow, so here we are, Eagach. Look at that, that's awesome. That's the Aonach Eagach Ridge in all its glory. So in the distance we've got Skernam Finley, and that's a big hump of rock over there that we've just scrambled over, getting onto this ridge. A lot of fun ahead by the looks of it. It does look daunting. It does look really daunting. What a fabulous walk. So this is the next scramble that faces us. Having said that, we've just had to climb down this one. This one looks a bit more serious. That gully wasn't that bad actually, climbing up. Eagach up there. This ridge is just stunning, absolutely stunning. These pinnacles are awesome. So I've got another one here to get over. And then we've got that top to negotiate. before we get to the top of the Munro. So a fair bit still to do. Very, very undulating. Oh my god, this is awesome. We're climbing up this side now. These are as difficult as anything I've climbed up and down, I'm sure. It's just mad. Got another pinnacle here to go over. These are just insane. So I've just climbed down. Now climbing down this one before I make the ascent. So there's Jeff climbing off this pinnacle. Doing a sterling job. So we're nearly at the I assume this is the low point between the Munros. The next Munro's now in cloud, so we've got this top to contend with first. It makes a change actually being on a path and not scrambling up to this top. Fortunately we're engulfed in cloud now, so hopefully it'll clear again before we get any further or much further. I'd like a view from the last Munro. So this isn't the Munro, this is Stomp Corrily, and it's engulfed in cloud. So we're going to drop again before we hit the main Munro. Yeah, this next section of ridge walk, although in cloud, is much easier underfoot than we've had along the pinnacles. So progress has speeded up a little bit, let's say. Got a friend. Good job Stanley's not here. Wow, that's a trig point. Give that some shelter, haven't they? Score, Nan, finally. Wow. Unfortunately, the views I was hoping for are not here. Been very, very interesting day. Let's get down. So I'm following this top. Now there was a left turn there, just heading down the side, heading down to the Clegane, and I think it went down a gully, but I understand it's extremely dangerous, so I'm following this top and head back to where we parked the van. The cloud has just cleared as we're descending down. Wow, that's awesome. Hi, welcome to day 118 of my Munro challenge. Today I walked route number 129, the Aonach Eagach Ridge. Awesome, what an absolutely fabulous day. Took the opportunity to walk it earlier than I wanted, just to take the weather window that we found. So I wanted good weather, and on the whole it was. So two cars obviously park at either end of the ridge. First Munro is Eagach, and the path rises pretty much steeply straight from the off, and it's erosion control path. There's even bits of scramble on the on that first path, but eventually as you get higher up it levels, and eventually you get to the top of the first top, which isn't the Munro, and you've got quite a bit of scrambling actually up and down over a huge lump before you actually get to the first Munro, which is like a couple of tops away. So when you're at Eagach, you're looking across the ridge, and it is so rugged. It is so awesome to see. Really, really rugged, undulating ridge. And actually the closer you get to it, the more rugged it gets and the more difficult it gets. Now the guidebook suggests you take extra underpants if you've not got head for heights, and you might need somebody there with ropes if you want experienced scramblers, and I can see why. I can see why. I mean, I brought my mate with me who is extremely inexperienced in this sort of stuff, and I'd consider myself inexperienced.
having said what I've done, I have had some experience now. And it was tough. It was a very, very tough day. Thoroughly enjoyable, very, very airy and exposed. Lots of undulations and lots of difficult sections, but it was fabulous. By the time I got to the second Munro, Scorn Finale, the weather had come in, and so I didn't get to see much, which was a shame. And the weather was then in and out all the way down. We were going to go to the viewpoint, but it was pointless looking at a view on the way down when there's no view to see. So we eventually made our way down to the car, and it's a long descent, long scrambly, not scrambly, screey, slippy, and a tiring descent. So it's only an 8-mile day, but it took us 8 hours. Now Jeff, my mate, who's obviously not been out in the hill like I have, was saying how tiring he felt the 8 miles was, and I suppose I'd not really thought about it in that way, but in hindsight now it is a tiring day for such a short distance. And there's 3,974 feet of ascent in steep scrambling ascent. Fabulous day. If you haven't got a head for heights, don't do it, or take a guide or take somebody who is experienced.